I'm legally insane. And I have 25 Xbox 360 games with me right here. All recent pickups. You know why I picked up 25 games? I have a backlog of about 300. And if you're wondering why I have so many games, it's because I have a game collecting addiction. It's a thing that some people have. Okay, and I have it. I'm one of them. And probably, considering the fact that you're watching this video, you might also have the same problem. Well, the first step to recovery, and the only step to recovery, is to collect all of the games that you want. So when I get all of the games that I want, then I can stop collecting. That's how it works. It's that simple. And one of these days, I will have all of the games that I want. I collect for a lot of consoles. Now, the problem is they keep coming out with new consoles. That's the problem. So hopefully, hopefully, for whatever reason, I don't want to buy the Nintendo Switch 2 because I'm kind of waiting on that one right now. So let's go through all of these games. I'm going to tell you what I got, what I paid for each of these games, and why you might also want to consider picking up some of these games. I'm finding hidden gems. I'm finding steal of a deals. I'm finding rare games on the cheap all the time. You got to keep your eye out. That's the thing. You got to have a keen eye. You got to know what to look for. We had this huge tear in Xbox 360 prices that went to the moon seemingly overnight. This mania phase, and that happens. I've never seen it to this extreme. I think that this is the first time it happened to this level, but it generally happens to most of the previous consoles. It happened to GameCube. Same thing happened with GameCube, just it was never as extreme. Xbox 360's first time it was so extreme, but also Xbox 360 was the most undervalued console. Literally, prior to the games going to the moon there a little bit, and they're only getting warmed up in the grand scheme of things 10-15 years down the road. These prices are cheap. But the point being that the reason why the move was even larger than the GameCube move that we got was because it was that much more undervalued. It's like an undervalued stock, right? The first one up, shout out to Trevor for letting me know about this one. There's something special about this one that not a lot of people know about because I didn't know about it. So it probably means you didn't know about it either. You don't know about this. This is Dragon Ball Z Connect. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, I knew about that game. And that game sucks. Well, maybe it does suck, maybe it doesn't. Okay? Some people like it, some people hate it. It got terrible reviews, we know that much. But this isn't about whether this is a good game or not. There's something special about this North American version. Something real special. Look closer. Comes with the Dragon Ball Z Connect hair. Comes with this Dragon Ball hair. And I got a special story to tell you about this hair too. Here's what the hair looks like. Okay. I'm not going to open the hair. But so I bought this for the hair. Let's just get that out of the way. The value is in the hair, and I paid a lot of money for this. This price charts for $42.62 Canadian or $31.26 USD, but that's without the hair. So the price chart price is very deceptive. Okay? By the way, this is a fighting game, and you're supposed to use the Xbox 360 Kinect, which automatically makes it not very sought after. A lot of people do not like the Kinect games because the Kinect accuracy wasn't known for being very good. That's one of the flaws in the reviews that the game got. It got bashed for that reason. And it also got bashed for having a poor storyline. And to be honest, they probably rushed the game. I mean, it's a friggin' Kinect game. They weren't going to... This is not a AAA title. They're not going to put $100 million budget on a game like this. It's very gimmicky. That's what it's meant to be. I do want to show you the chart. The chart is a little bit deceptive because this isn't really factoring in the hair. So I want to show you these sales. These are USD numbers here. So price starts for 31.26. These are the sales down here, 34.99 USD, 31.99 USD. Not bad. Sometimes it includes shipping, sometimes it doesn't. So this one here is, I'm going to guesstimate it was $40 flat with shipping, and these other ones maybe didn't have shipping. Switch over to Canadian dollars because it'll give me a better idea. So roughly $40 to $50 game. But I paid a lot more than that because mine came with the hair. Here it is right here. I paid $75 plus shipping plus tax. Came to about $100. I paid $100 Canadian for this. Okay, not a cheap game. And it's all in the hair. Basically, I paid $50 for the hair. And guess what? I would have paid even more. I would have paid double or triple even. That is, if I didn't already own the hair. This is where the funny story comes in. I own the hair. I own 2 copies of the hair. I bought years and years ago off eBay when I was making a Goku costume for Halloween, which I still have. I purchased the Goku costume from Alibaba, I think. I don't remember where I got it, to be honest. It's a very high quality Goku costume. I was Goku for Halloween 2, 3, 4 years in a row. And the hair, when I bought the hair, the seller, there was like one or two sellers on eBay, and he was saying that he got it, a whole bunch of the hairs at a Comic-Con. Meaning there's, and I believe him. So, especially because he had multiple copies at the time. They're all sold out now. He was selling the hair for like $30. Okay? 30, maybe 40 even. They weren't cheap. Or maybe it was 20. I don't remember. They all came from Comic-Con. That's what he said. They were leftovers from Comic-Con. So maybe these were leftovers from a massive print run for the game. Or maybe they printed these first and then threw the leftovers in the copies of the game. But there is some hair floating out there. But brand new hair, last I checked, you can't even get a copy. So I have one sealed still. And I thought about throwing that up on eBay. For several years now, I've thought about it. I'm like, you know what? Every time I check eBay, there's not a single sealed hair on eBay. And I didn't know you could get it with the Dragon Ball Z Connect game. So I was going to throw it up for like $6,900 just to see if some rich guy, you never know. Because otherwise I'm not selling it anyway. Maybe $1,000. I don't know. But it wouldn't have been cheap. If I'm the only one in the world selling a copy and I would rather keep it, unless you're going to pay me a lot of money, then throw it up. You never know, man. Some rich guy might buy it from you. I've had rich people buy stuff from me on eBay before. Some weird, strange, rare item for very expensive. That's what some people do. A lot of times they're drunk, to be honest. You have no idea how many people go on eBay when they're drunk. In fact, I had a local sale here on Facebook Marketplace. I was selling a reproduction Pokemon cart because you can't sell them on eBay because it's illegal. I don't even think you could sell them on Marketplace, but I advertised. It was $10. I put it up for $10. And I said, it's a reproduction cart. Some drunk guy messaged me and says, hey, I'm drunk. Can you drop it off? And I said, no. Because it's $10, you freaking moron. I'm not driving over there for $10. You come and pick it up. And he says, okay, can you meet me at the Tim Hortons then? And I said, yeah, I can. Because actually turned out he lived nearby anyway. So we were going to walk and meet up at the Tim Hortons. And this is like 11 or 12 o'clock at night. And he never showed. And also he e-transferred me the money right then and there. So he already paid, so I knew it was legit. And I kept messaging him after that. And I kept saying, hey, like, are we going to meet up now? What's the deal? He never responded. He read the message, never responded. And then I even followed up the next day and I said, hey, did you still want the Pokemon game? And again, he never responded. Meaning he passed out. the drunken retard passed out. He's buying stuff and e-transferring people money and not even picking up the game. Anyways, yes, I did get Dragon Ball Z Connect and I got it for the hair. And I'm very happy with it. And I recommend you do the same. If you're interested in a rare game, that's one to check out because especially if you want the hair. Okay, next up, I got this one a while ago. Like I said, I have a 300, 500 game backlog here. This is Operation Darkness, disc only. And you will not believe the price I paid. And I admit, I got lucky. It was in a private auction group, which I can't tell you about because you guys are competition. So do not be offended by that. I got this from a seller that I had bought from many times before, so he was very trustworthy. And I paid 15 Canadian dollars for this. Operation Darkness, Atlas title strategy RPG, for those that are not aware. One of the rarest titles on the entire Xbox 360 console. It is one of the rarest. I mentioned this game in my Xbox 3 series prices series. 6.9 episodes, over 69 games with the bonus episodes, but the original list was 69 games, 6.9 episodes. Operation Darkness made it on that list, and I had mentioned that I think it will be a $500 game, and it will be a $500 game. And guess what? Ever since I mentioned it, the price has continued to go up. Just going to throw up the chart. This is Canadian dollars at the bottom here. Just want you to know it currently price charts for $150, and I paid 15 smackers. 15 smackers. I'm going to jail. The guy reported me to the cops. But of course, the important thing is here, when I paid $15 for it though, it wasn't worth $150. The CIB copy was worth about $100 at the time, so I'm going to guesstimate perhaps a loose disc would have been going for, at the time, about $69, and that would be a pretty good estimate as well.
69.
And it's only gone up since, and so you might be saying, well, why didn't you sell it? You paid 15 for it. You could have flipped it for 69. Well, because I'm not a retard. That's why. I knew the price was going up. Buddy, the game is going to 500. Why would I sell it for 70? It's a game that got bad reviews. Okay, some people love it. Some people hate it. Some people will tell you it's a cult classic, and it is kind of becoming a cult classic. More and more people are warming up to the game, and more people are understanding that it's a very unique strategy RPG, unlike any other. Okay, it takes place in an alternate universe, World War II universe. So there are guns and tanks. One of the main villains is Hitler, which good luck, trying to make a game like that in 2024. Can't do that anymore. Not in 2024. Friggin', they'll try to cancel you. So I think this came out in 2008. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, 2008. Atlas title. Back then, Atlas didn't overprint games. Atlas was known for low print runs. Not anymore, but back then, yes. That was their specialty. They would get the unique and the oddball games that other publishers did not want to take a chance on. That was their bread and butter. That's what made them special. That's what made them unique. Because they knew that they were taking a risk, right? So another developer would look at an Operation Darkness, publisher. If a developer approached them, hey, can you publish my game? Do you guys want to publish this? They would look at it and say, hey, we don't think it's that good. We're worried that the sales are going to be very poor. We're not interested. Or maybe they have a certain threshold. If we think we can sell a minimum of 50,000 copies, we will publish it. But because we think, we might only get 25,000 copies out of your game, we're not interested. We don't want to ruin our good name as a high quality publisher by taking a chance on this unique World War II fantasy-based game where there are zombies, werewolves, vampires, and magic mixed with guns and tanks. Okay? That's what made Atlas so awesome, and that's what made a game like Operation Darkness so rare. Okay. Next up, we got Silent Hill Downpour, CIB. This is my second copy. However, I did not just get one. I got 2 copies. And I paid a fair price for both of them, considering I did get them a while ago before any the very smaller recent price jumps that it got. It has not really gone up that much. So the reason I got 2 additional copies is because all of the Silent Hill games just go up in value. That's just the way it is. And this being one of the more heavily bashed Silent Hill games, I also have 1 or 2, I think I have 2 copies for the PS3, and I got them because I knew the price would double, triple, quadruple in the long run, like most of the Silent Hill games before it. And all of those ones continue to go up. It's just the way it is with these Silent Hill games. And even though it got kind of poor reviews, they did attempt a few unique things, and like all the Silent Hill games, it will be fondly remembered in the long term. And it will be a highly sought after game. Any game collector for the PS3 or the 360 is going to want Silent Hill. Any Silent Hill game collector, how many people out there are going for full sets of Silent Hill? It's like Resident Evil. You can't just buy Resident Evil 1 and not get 2 and 3. It's physically impossible. You can't do it. So if you're going to get Silent Hill on the 360, you're going to get all of the Silent Hills, and that includes the HD collection. I don't care what anyone tries to tell you. They're going to say, well, I only want Silent Hill Downpour and Silent Hill Homecoming. I don't want that HD collection garbage. Well, they're going to buy it eventually. If either they're lying and they already own it, or they're going to buy it eventually. The HD collection is probably the least rare, arguably, but Silent Hill Downpour, yes, I will be hanging on to those, and I will sell those too eventually. That's why I got them. And also, it's underrated. It is an underrated Silent Hill game. A lot of people had a lot of fun with that. I think the reviewers at the time, the ones that gave it the bad review, I think they underestimated it. It's an underrated game. Have a quick look at the chart. So I paid about $46 for one of those copies, $36 for the other. And at the time when Silent Hill was trading, between, well, I mean, look, no, CIB, let's go CIB, sorry. Yeah, I mean, trading about, well, at the time it was about $60. Here's a CIB copy, $60. Let's just assume that includes shipping. It was trading at about $50, $60 when I bought them, so I basically paid market value just about. I paid market value because I see that the trend is going to continue higher. That's why. It's kind of choppy right now within a trading range, but it also looks like it may be breaking out of that trading range. So actually, on that note, you can see it a top and a bottom here. So look at this, but let's just say $50. This is USD. The chart is USD. So $50 at the top, about $40 at the bottom. See, bouncing up and down. 50, 40. Topping up, close to 50, back down to 40. Round up, close to 50, under 50. It's within that 40 to 50 trading range. It's choppy, up, down, up, down. Look, didn't quite hit the 50 mark. It has not been able to break out above 50. It's choppy, up and down within this trading range. Attempts to break out, fails, goes back down. Attempts to break out, fails, goes back down. Attempts to break out again, fails. Attempts to break out again. Holy hell. Gets right to the 50 mark. Comes back down. Higher lows. It's no longer going back down to the 40. Do you see that? This is important, guys. Write this down. Chart reading 101. And its next attempt to break out, it actually did break out. My cursor will not let me go to, oh, there it is. We were there. Well, it's above 50 regardless. It won't let me go to that peak, whatever that peak was. But yeah, it's above 50 now. So it'll be interesting to see what the new floor becomes, because it's now officially broken out of that trading range. I just wanted to point that out. This is not part of my Xbox 360 pricing series, but I wanted to point that out because it's important. Okay, next up, I want to show you that I picked up a whole bunch of copies of Forza Horizon. 1 copy CIB, 2 copies CIB, and 2 disc-only copies. The reason I did that is because I keep finding them for cheap. One of them I'll be keeping. I'll be keeping the best condition one, which is this one. And I'm going to sell the other ones. CIB, there's no manual with this game. Now, one of these games I paid $1 for, and it's one of these disc-only ones. I don't remember which is which, but I paid $1 for it, and after I got it, I think I realized why. Because it's scratched up to hell. Camera will not pick that up, but shockingly, a lot of these really scratched games, believe it or not, they still work. I've actually seen worse. This is like beat up, almost as bad as you can get with having the game actually still work. I paid $1 for disc only, $7 for disc only on the other one, and $10 for the CIB. And I forgot to write down what I paid for the other CIB, but I know it was $7 or less. Price charts for roughly $23. Loose disc and CIB. You can get 20 plus for loose disc only on eBay sometimes. So the reason I got Forza Horizon, not just because I got a deal on it, but because I really like the Forza games. I have replaced Gran Turismo with the Forza series. I kind of dropped Gran Turismo. I'll tell you the exact moment I stopped playing Gran Turismo. The exact moment was when I got an Xbox and they came out with Project Gotham Racing. From that moment on, I was done with Gran Turismo, and I've never gone back. I've never played a Gran Turismo since the day Project Gotham Racing was released, which I think it was a launch title, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it was a launch title. Because I wanted that game so freaking bad. I never did get it. I didn't get it till years later. Well, just recently, actually. It was in one of my pickup videos. But I finally have it, but I wanted it my entire life since the day it was released. I also picked up Forza Horizon 2, and this is also a game that you can find cheap. So the reason I'm finding these racing games for cheap is because the stores don't know that they have value. And the sellers in the private auction groups don't know that these particular games command a high value for that of a racing game. Because these are a little bit later releases, and Forza 2 is on the Xbox One. And the reason I have this version is because I don't have an Xbox One. I would like to play Forza Horizon 2, okay? That's why I have it. And each of these I paid $10, but it was actually a bundle. Came with Need for Speed Rivals. And I'm an idiot, and I forgot to write down what I paid for the other one, but I know it was cheap. On that note, I also bought Forza Motorsport 4, 2 copies. What did I pay for those? I paid $1 for one of them and $4 for the other one. They're both CIB, but there's 2 versions of this floating around. One has a manual and one does not. I don't know why that is. I sold the one that doesn't have a manual already for $12.50, which was underpriced I sold it on eBay. Underpriced $12.50. Paid $1 and $4, and I'm actually going to sell this one as well. And it was underpriced. I actually think I should have charged minimum $12.95. But if you have patience, you could get $13.95. Perhaps even more, but you've got to be more patient. So I had it sold within days. Within, I'm going to say, 48 hours, maybe 72 hours of me posting it for $12.50. That's how I definitely know it was underpriced. And I knew it was underpriced, but I was looking for a quick sale because I'm looking to free up shelf space. And I know what you're thinking. You're saying, well, why are you selling Forza Motorsport 4, which is an awesome game, when you love Forza racing games? Well, I don't care for the Motorsport series. All I really wanted was Forza Horizon 1 and 2. Okay, I don't care about any other one. I don't care. I'd rather I play Need for Speed games. Like, I know it's a good game. I just, in the interest of saving shelf space, I'm passing on it. I'm going to sell it for profit to fund the purchase of other games. Real quick, I will also mention that I did buy 3 copies of London 2012, which is a little bit of an uncommon game. I'm keeping the better condition copy because this is what you call a fun 4-player game. And you can actually play with the Xbox Kinect, which I wish that I had. I don't have at present time, but I will get it one day and I will get to play 4-player with the Kinect. It sounds like a really fun time. I really like Olympics games. My favorite is actually the Mario and Sonic at the Olympics series. And my second place favorite would be the standard track and field series on the PlayStation 1. Especially the OG original track and field, that's what it's called, from Konami. I've got a soft spot for that one. It's an early release track and field title. And in my opinion, it's one of the best. I do want to point out one thing here. The chart does not look all that great. It had this huge price spike back in 2021, and it's kind of trending down ever since. So that's a little bit scary, but it does commonly sell on eBay for about 20 bucks. I mean, here's one here. It sold for 30. Must have been good condition. Canadian dollars down here. I saw one for $17.50, and then the next cheapest was about $23. 23 is more realistic. I see it sell for that all the time. So a lot of these probably did not include shipping. Like, look at this, 30 bucks. It really does fluctuate. 30, 20, 15. I really question the 15 if that included shipping though. 20 bucks. Okay, so it looks about a $20 game. That would be pretty fair to say, which probably makes $22 pretty realistic as well. The highest I paid, I know I paid $12 for at least one of these, and the rest was like $7 or less. So I am gonna go ahead and sell those. Next up, another I'm going to jail bundle. Wolverine, this 4-disc bundle. Wolverine disc only. Borderlands disc only. Perfect Dark disc only. Assassin's Creed disc only. Okay. I don't care for any of these games. I already have Perfect Dark. I don't care for Borderlands. I probably already own it. The money was in X-Men Wolverine. And for whatever reason, this was... It just didn't get any bids. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why. Came up in private auction group. Nobody bid on it. Nobody outbid me. I bid 17 bucks. I won. Okay. The money, and I knew the money was in Wolverine. I knew that going in. I guess nobody was paying attention that particular day. A Wolverine was only worth maybe 30 bucks at the time. Gone up since then. Or maybe it was like 35. But as of today, Wolverine price charts for $60 Canadian. Let's switch over to USD. That's about $44.95 USD. So I will be selling that. Thank you very much. I do like making easy money. If you ask me if I think Wolverine is going to go even higher in the long term, I will tell you yes. It will be a $100 game. Easily. Next up, I got NBA Home Court disc only. $3. This is like an NBA Jam type of game. I think I might have had it in my price 69 Xbox game prices going up series, although I don't quite remember. But if it wasn't in the series, perhaps it should have been, because it price charts for disc only is 1981, which is really close to the complete price list, which is strange, but that does happen. The Forza game that we looked at earlier, that's about the same. But what's special about this is the chart looks good. This is a straight line up, slow and steady. This is not a rare game, but it's a bit of a hidden gem. It's gaining a cult following. It's known as one of the better basketball games. It's like a modern day NBA Jam to a certain extent. So it's not quite like NBA Jam, but it's the closest thing that we have to being similar to NBA Jam without being NBA Jam. Right? So it's arcadey. It's unrealistic slam dunks, a little bit unrealistic basketball moves. It's meant to be flashy. It's street basketball, flashy, big move, street basketball. Now, I already own it, so I'm going to be selling that one. And again, so this is a game to be on the lookout for. Look, somebody had this posted for $3 because it's a sports game. They didn't know. They looked at that and said, basketball game? What's that? Worthless? I'll put it up for $3. Maybe some idiot will buy it. Well, you're the idiot for selling it for $3. That's not a me problem. That's a you problem. Also picked up Angry Birds Trilogy and Angry Birds Star Wars. I got these because I thought they might be fun to play multiplayer. Might be a good game to play with your wife, even. Wife or your girlfriend, you could play Angry Birds. Women like simple games like Angry Birds. Women are simple creatures. They don't have big brains. Most of them don't. I mean, look, guys. You know it's true. Women don't think the same way we do. Okay? We're very strategic. We're logical thinkers. We're analytical thinkers. Women don't think that way. They think with emotion. And when they play video games, they're typically not looking for strategy. They're looking for cute things. Cute and fun. Simple. This fits the bill. And by the way, these are fun games. These are fun games on top of that. Now, my regret is that because I now actually want these in my collection a little bit more seriously, I wish I had got them CIB. So that's my only regret. But I paid $5 for the bundle. Both of them. So that's $2.50 Canadian each. They price chart for about $8-9 each. And I paid that because, I didn't care. Like, the reason I got the disc only is because all I wanted to do was play it. It's a party game night type of game. 2-player co-op with a friend type of game night. Relaxing game night. I didn't care for it from a collecting standpoint. From a putting on my shelf standpoint, I didn't care for it at the time. I'm starting to change my mind on it. Lastly, we got The Price is Right Decades. Guys, do not sleep on this game. This is a great party game. 4 players. 4 players. Camera's probably not going to pick that up. Price is Right is the most underrated party game. One of the most underrated party games of all time. And you can get any Price is Right game. It doesn't need to be this one. But this one, I would tell you, is probably the best one. Because it's the only unique one. This is The Price is Right Decades. 4 decades of your favorite pricing games. Over 40 pricing games from 4 decades of The Price is Right. Play with up to 4 player, and there's bonus videos from the TV show. This is a must buy if you are looking for fun multiplayer games that you can play with anybody. That's the other beauty of Price is Right. I'm not even kidding. You guys just don't. I've played this at game nights. I know what I'm talking about. I am the party game king. In fact, at the end of this video, I'm going to have a link to one of my multiplayer videos where I tell you some of the best multiplayer games to start bringing to these game nights or to play when you bring people over to your house. This is one of them. I'm telling you, you want to have a good time? Bust out The Price is Right. Because I know some of you are skeptics. Some of you are saying, oh, come on, a game show game, The Price is Right? You can't even all play at the same time. Like, somebody gets to win and they're the ones doing the price games. Yeah, but everyone else still gets to participate and you can start yelling stuff out. You can try and screw him over too. Hey, here, they put up a new washing machine. You got to guess the price on it. He's thinking, oh, it's $200. They're cheap nowadays. You could tell him, listen, buddy, this is from 2011 pricing. Back then, these were $800. And you tell him, put in $800. And he might not remember. He can't remember what prices were back then. He doesn't know. Meanwhile, you knew dang well they were only $250. That dumb son of a bitch just put in $800. Now he lost. What an idiot. He actually put in $800. It's funny. You screwed him over. That's what he gets. And you tell him afterwards. That's what you get. Dumb frickin' retard. That's what you get. And then you get to win the grand prize at the end. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm trying to get to over 9,000 subscribers, on my way to collecting over 9,000 retro video games. Check out a link below. I do have a Patreon up. I do post exclusive content for free members. You can join for free. You don't even have to pay money, by the way. There is a free option on Patreon. A lot of people don't know that. Now, there is exclusive content for paid members only, but I post exclusive content for everybody to look at. And it helps me grow the channel. It helps me. It helps support this channel on our way to over 9,000 subscribers. Because I'm not stopping until I get to over 9,000.